We're just getting all the things going live. It'll be just a second. Okay. There we are. All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I am DDO's Community Manager Cordovan, continuing the work from home thing for the foreseeable future. So, welcome to my living room. Going to be on Kyber for week 2 of 2 today, and I realized that I actually went backwards on the alphabet on Kyber. I probably should be on Sarlona, so I'll be on Sarlona next week. However, today I'm running through Ravenloft stuff on my level cap character on Kyber. This is Armog, and a not a bad character either. Alright, so we are going to start with Oath of Vengeance, and that's an Argen Volstolt. Alright, if you could see me on Twitch, if you could see me on YouTube, just pop in and say hi. There you go. Would appreciate it. By not a bad character means less than 5 deaths on stream. Well, we'll see. It's, could be worse. I've done okay on this character so far.
Ready, soldier?
This is one of my more played characters over the years. Little gear light like usual, but not too bad. So alphabetically, Orion would be next, except I actually already did Orion. So rather than repeat both Kyber and Orion twice, I'm going to skip ahead to where I should have been last week, which is Sarlona. But, you know, what else? I like playing this character, though. It's actually one of my more enjoyable characters to play in the live stream. So I decided to just stick with it. Otherwise, we have a little bit we could talk about in terms of the news. Probably the most important thing is that as of yesterday, we
The mansion looks abandoned. Yet according to what you've been told, the Order of the Silver
opened up Lamania with our second preview of Update 46. Trust the person with the bloody footprints. That's what I say. Anyway, there's, other than a content preview, which we would love to get some feedback on our Update 46 quests. Those are available now. The other big thing with Lamania this week is we have a lag fix in this week's Lamania. Now, it's not going to fix all the sources of lag. That's never going to happen. Never. But we have what is a little bit of a more significant bug fix that we hope will have an impact on performance. However, because the fix is a little riskier in nature, since it has to do with our physics engine, we wanted to make sure that we got this done on Lamania first as essentially a guinea pig, so that if for whatever reason this change were to melt things down, we don't want it to melt down to the live servers. We'd much rather it cause a problem on Lamania. We could fix it and then bring it to live. We have not yet seen, and we have no indication that that's happening on Lamania, so we are moving ahead with our plan to bring that fix to the live worlds. Now, this will not be Update 46. Update 46 will be coming later, but we are going to bring that specific part of it to live in the coming days. If we can get it out as soon as tomorrow, we will. Maybe early next week before it's completely done. but I'd say sometime between tomorrow and next week is the correct timing on that one. So.
The door is securely locked. You'll need to find the key that opens it.
Don't get weighed down. Fast legs feed the wolf, not a full backpack.
Well, they must be underneath, huh? Okay. So, however, the work, if it does go live next week, we already know is not going to be the one fix, as it were, to our current game performance issues. It is, however, hopefully going to be a positive step forward. Meanwhile, we're continuing to work on it. Frankly, all this kind of game performance stuff is our absolute highest priority and has been for, I mean, it's basically been all hands on deck for about 3 weeks or so now. 3-4 weeks, actually. Thankfully, believe we've identified something that will hopefully make a pretty significant difference, and we'll find out. But that's the plan anyway. Could go out, like I said, as soon as tomorrow. I would say the window is going to be sometime between tomorrow and, let's say, next Tuesday, depending on how the build process goes and all that. Yeah, I forgot to change the title. I have an announcement we're going to be making today. So, actually, probably after the live stream, since the localized copy just came back on the Lord of the Rings side. We have temporarily disabled points purchases from the DDO market, and that's due to a bug. And it's one of the things that you can continue to buy them from the DDO store, but the external market is currently not offering DDO points. Let me take a look at chat here. DDO 2, okay. No plans for that. Is this game hard for new players? Thomas Love. So I work for Standing Stone Games, so it's probably best that, you know, I leave that kind of opinion-style statement to someone, you know, who doesn't get their paycheck from the company. But I think in terms of the new player experience, DDO is not bad. I mean, a lot of people play it just fine. I think having a general background in Dungeons and Dragons is going to help you. If that happens to be you, then I'd say just go for it. No, Melissa, on Facebook, I don't want to ever use the word fix the lag. Never. The reason for that is it's an unwinnable phrase. It will never be the case that all lag will be gone from the game. I'm sorry. However, we do very much have something planned for this week to hopefully deal with the most recent kind of short-term, well, issues we've been having in recent weeks.
The dead feel no shame.
So, number one then, in terms of the news, is that Update 46 is having its second preview on Lemania. That is open right now. You can check it out over on the Lemania forums, read the release notes, that kind of thing. We'd appreciate any feedback you want to give, particularly as it relates to the lag fix we have, if you get an opportunity to run around for a little while. Some of the things that are causing you troubles on live right now, and let us know if things are a little bit better. Unfortunately, as with most quote-unquote lag fixes, which, you know, we're not actually talking server-client latency here. We're talking about kind of a game engine chug. But let's just use the term lag anyway, I guess. It's hard to test it on a preview server environment because you just aren't generally going to see the kind of populations and run on resources like you will on a real live. It's good forward progress to report, perhaps as soon as tomorrow. Then how come I couldn't play it yesterday? So you have to be VIP to run the preview of the new pack. That is news to me. Typically, when we do our Lamania previews, we make it so that you do not need to be VIP in order to access the content. There's usually an NPC, at the very least, in the test dojo that should be able to auto-bestow the quest. However, if we don't have it gated properly, then it is possible that the experience you're reporting is what you're going to see. And that means we're going to need... We did something wrong on our end here.
And the outer gate to Argynvost's mausoleum opens. You place Argynvost's skull inside the mausoleum, and a brilliant light fills the room. Now, if there were
I don't know who's voice acting the new quest, Jack, on YouTube. Sorry. Yeah, there's also... Oh, okay, yeah. At the very least, you can get the free points that are available on Lamania by speaking to one of the NPCs and then just go into the Lamania version of the store and purchase it.
The sound of flapping wings comes from just beyond the closed door. Your eye is drawn to the impressive beacon that dominates the courtyard. Suddenly, taloned creatures fly out from behind it, swooping down.
Are there any plans in the near future to change ninja poison for monks? I have not heard of any plans to do that. I would imagine if we were of any plans to do that work for Ninja Spy. Okay. So are we going to have a restart if no semi-lag patch fix for this week? Yes, I do think that's the case. So actually right now, this afternoon, our QA team is evaluating a live build, or will be evaluating a live build. I don't think they're doing it quite yet because the thing is still building. But assuming that the status of that check will have a lot to do with whether or not we're going to do a general weekly restart, like say tomorrow or something like that, or whether or not we're going to move ahead with a patch point. So we should know more by the end of the day here today.
With a brilliant light that can be seen throughout the valley, and from somewhere a voice
Enjoy the moment, but don't let this distract you from the mission.
What are the chances of getting a Feywild themed monster manual with the expansion? I don't...
never felt in Barovia before.
Yes! Epic Purifying Quiver! Epic Purifying Quiver! Yay! How fun is it? Because I'd be on the road, you know, gathering the news stories, and then I'd go home and write them up. So the idea of kind of doing my work from home is actually pretty normal for me. But it's been fine. It's been just fine. No problems at all. I don't have a direct ETA on update 46. Jeff is saying a couple of weeks or so, question mark. And that, yeah, that sounds semi-likely. Something like that. Within the next few weeks here that we would probably go live with, update 46. Frogs added to the monster manual, huh? Yeah. Alright, Raven at the door. Heading back to Castle Ravenloft for Raven at the door. Servants' quarters. I don't know on the Feywild themed monster manual. I have not directly seen a task to do a Feywild themed monster manual, but you know, work is still pretty early on that, so I'm not sure that that means much. The idea of a Feywild themed monster manual is cool, though.
Soldier?
I'm down. I just don't know whether or not that's something we're planning to do or not. Your ingredients or collectibles bags rather than, say, buying a larger bag. I just really don't see us doing that work. I'm sorry. What build am I playing now? I'm really just kind of playing my standard kind of fighter type build. It's a pure fighter. This is actually back in the day. This is the oldest character I own. This character was created in June of 2006 as a fighter along the initial path of how to be a fighter. the old pre-builds or whatever it was. And so I've been playing this character for quite a long time, but it's really just a main fighter type. Normally I am in Fury of the Wild for my Epic Destiny, but I'm leveling up my destinies here on the live stream while I can. So, you know, I'm doing that.
Report says he went off to steal a potion from a coven of witches whose lair is at the top of the south.
So right now I'm in Shirati, even though it's not really doing much for me. But it's because I'm leveling up my destiny since I'm level capped, and running the character on the stream doing questing, it just seemed like, one, it's fine to be in an off destiny. Two, it'll get me some of that sweet, sweet destiny XP.
This is the South Tower stair. Following it all the way to the top, as you approach to the lair of the old crones mentioned.
On hardcore, my character is currently XP capped at 4. I know, I'm way behind, but that's because my characters keep dying. At this point, I think my main goal is to just get level 20, 1750, if I can. I was not able to in Season 1. I feel more confident that I can probably get this done in Season 2. Especially with having a little bit more free time to run and work from home, as it were. It does. No commute does add a couple hours to my day. I have a commute that generally is approximately somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour and a half one way, depending on the state of Boston area traffic that particular day. So it's kind of nice to have that time back. I've also been spending less money on gas, as, you know, most folks probably have as well. I think I mentioned it last week, but, you know, SSG, just kind of due to the nature of being a video game company run by gamers, we're probably in a position to work from home better than most.
As you come to the door of the witch's den,
Okay, so let's see, I mentioned Lamania. In case you didn't catch the news and you have not redeemed it yet, use the coupon code SOV2XP, SOV2XP, to get a free Sovereign 2XP elixir. This is just sort of a little thank you thing we're doing. And that's available, one per account, and that's available through April 30th. Additionally, our Friends Initiative thing here is happening through April 30th, and that is that all quests and such are open.
Not all that glitters is gold.
the withered forms of two hags glare at you from across their cauldron.
Fix the loot system? What do you mean, Johnny?
Gestures for you to speak with her.
Part of it is not working. I have loot.
The old witch's cackle, then one of them
My character's full of loot. Just look at all those items. Yep. I haven't filled my gas tank in 4.5 weeks. I haven't gone anywhere in like a month.
Taking damage.
So I'm just trying to concentrate on the game here, so I'm not seeing your chat. I'm actually tempted to say, and I know that I'm not the only one, because there's a whole bunch of people who have been playing since 2006. But I'm tempted to say that on an average day when I log into Armagh here, I'm probably one of the oldest existing characters currently being played in the game. Now, I know that there's others out there, like I say, but having a character that you're still playing, you know, semi kind of regularly, 14 years later has got to count for something. This is the old Beefheart the Vegetarian.
It is time to search their lair. You find a set of vials, which must be the potions of gaseous form described in the journal. They will allow you entry into the magical tower within the treasury.
I love this part of the quest. Yeah, I actually refilled my... we use heating oil in my house, and that's fairly common for New England here, that people are still running in old heating oil tanks. And I definitely went and refilled my oil tank this week, because it was like $1.99 a gallon for heating oil, which is way, way less than what you usually pay. Literally saved myself like $350. Kind of nuts. No, Flame Knight. So, we have been hearing some reports over the past couple of weeks that champions are appearing in raids. And that is weird. It should not be. And as a matter of fact, I believe Steel Star is spending most of the day trying to track it down. So no is the answer. It is not working as intended, and it's something that we're actively investigating. Not actually sure how it's even possible. That's part of the problem, is that it literally should not be possible, but yet it is happening anyway. Current kind of working theory is maybe there's a halo effect on the Mimikon that caused it to happen, but we'll see. So yes, that is a weird one.
You quaff the witch's brew, and you watch as your body evaporates into a fine mist. By strength of will alone, you push yourself through the tiny tower window and take solid form again.
My character's full of something, alright. No, I don't have word on the weekend bonus, unfortunately. Reason for that is I don't think we actually have picked one yet. When I was looking at our calendar today, I noticed a blank spot where a bonus should be. So we will for sure have a bonus. I just don't actually know what it's going to be. As a matter of fact, that might be a great time. What do you want it to be? Tell me what you want the weekend bonus to be, and there's a better than average chance it may end up being the thing. Crafting boost? I haven't done one of those in a while, that's true. See, I don't want to heal these things, but it isn't that much healing. I'll just take it. Alright. Yes, forehand, I did. As a matter of fact, I put that ring that crafting ring you sent me together prior to the show, the week that you sent it to me. So my character on Orient is very much appreciative of you sending me those crafting shards, and I put it together, so yeah. 1,000 DDO points for every character. Not probably the kind of bonus that's going to pass. Guild renown? Something we could definitely do. We just did a buddy boost, you know, as part of the kind of free thing that we did recently. So I don't really think the timing would be good to do a buddy boost right now. And last weekend we had 10% heroic epic XP, so I think renown, crafting, one of those makes sense. Oh no. I rock and roll over on Twitch gave their torque to a guildie past it 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago, and I've yet to see a torque since. I've never seen a torque drop in any run I've ever been in. I don't know loaf beef. Loaf Beef is saying that, what about making guild renown useful for guilds that are capped at 200? I mean, to the extent that you need to deal with the guild renown decay, a guild renown boost helps you stay at 200 more easily. So I wouldn't say that there's no benefit. Just redesigning the guild renown system to convert guild renown to something else or something like that. Well, there's no decay at 200. You're right. 300 is what I'm talking about. Okay, well, then no. Sorry, the bonus is not for you, I guess.
This book's pages are brittle with age, and much of it is illegible. A chip
Enjoy the
hanging
moment,
out
so don't
suggests
let this
the author
distract
is
you from the
none
mission.
other than Strahd himself. Perhaps your allies back in
Yeah, I
town
see
can
something
make
there.
sense of it.
It's neat. Yes, I do know the stream title is set to Wiki Talk. I haven't changed it. No point changing it now.
We both know this will end in violence. Ready, soldier?
I love that line. I mean, it's true. It's true, you know. Challenger Words boost. That would be cool. Although I saw a report. I remember seeing a report last to me that it's not providing an increase on Challenger Rewards on the anniversary event, which would be news to me. And I don't think we'd want to put that Challenger Rewards boost in place if that is the case, for the reason listed, that people would assume that it worked there. Okay. It was broken for a few days last time, but fixed a bit later. Okay. So then, yeah, that actually does make sense then. Yeah, maybe a Challenge Rewards boost is the way to go on this one. Why is there no decay at guild level 200? I don't know specifically about that number, but the intention on that guild renown decay was, when we did an update to it a while ago, was that any of the sort of tangible benefits that you would get from leveling your guild up would not be lost through a decay system. But anything that you did for bragging rights, which is essentially the final bits, the final, 50 levels or whatever of guild renown, would just really be a chaser thing, and have no real impact on the tangible benefits you would receive. So that's the why on no guild renown, is we basically said no renown if you can actually get something from it. And if you can't get anything from it, then it's just changing your guild level for a little bit of bragging rights and that, then sure. Yeah, I'm going to Sarlona because I accidentally backtracked to Kyber, because apparently during this time of staying at home, learning my alphabet
According to Lady
is
Fiona
just
Vulture,
a step too
this
far.
secret passage
So
leads straight to the Baron's manor across the way.
plus 10% VIP XP. I think we'd probably not go for a VIP specific reward this weekend. We do that sometimes, but I think we'd probably go with something a little more general this time around. Am I using delivery for groceries and pre-made food? No. I'm not. I stocked up. I was in a position where I could stock up, and then me and my girlfriend are heading to the grocery store in actual physical person when we need to, which has been a couple of times over the past couple of weeks. But part of the issue with that is that, at least in Massachusetts here, most of those grocery delivery services are so overwhelmed with demand that they can't actually deliver. For example, I know someone at church I go to who tried to order like Peapod or one of those kind of things, and was told that there's at least a 2-week waiting list on deliveries. At which point, if you're in a position where you can wait 2 weeks for groceries, maybe you didn't need their services to begin with, you know? But hey, that's fine. It's life. But but yeah, I tend to be kind of a home cook a lot anyway. One of the kind of nice things about working from home here for me is it's given me an opportunity to bake more bread. Because it's actually not that hard to bake bread. And because I'm sitting at the same place where I'm working and cooking, I can kind of, get the dough rising while I'm doing my, putting the Chronicle together or something like that. Like I will probably do this afternoon, and then be able to use it in the evening. I've also been practicing with some things that I always knew were theoretically possible, but I've never actually tried just due to my own laziness, and that is to freeze dough and refrigerate dough and all that kind of thing. So it's been kind of interesting in that regard. But for the most part, I've been staying at home. I have not actually left the house to take a trip, I think, in more than a week. And when I am going out, I'm being real careful and doing all the things I need to do. I'm actually going to be trying my hand at making calzone. Because I make pizza crusts and pizzas all the time, and it's always been like, well, why don't you take the dough and fold it in half and call it a calzone? But then for some reason in my head, I always thought that making a calzone was more complicated than it was. And so then I actually looked at it this week, and I was like, okay, so why don't I just do that? So I'm actually going to try making homemade calzones. I've actually considered putting together a YouTube video on how to make dough during this time of staying at home. Especially with bread shortages and things like that we've seen in the States. It makes sense to make your own bread, and it's actually not hard. I mean, heck, if I can do it, right? And once you learn how to make dough, you pretty much have the secret to a million different recipes. Because, dough is dough, for the most part. Squish it, put it in a pan, call it flatbread. Put it in a pizza crust, call it a pizza crust. Put it in a loaf, got a baked bread. Turn it into breadsticks, you got breadsticks. Chop it into little things and steam it, and you got, steam buns. Boil it in about a quarter cup of baking soda for about 30 seconds, then bake it, and you have like pretzel rolls.
The books on the shelves here have a range of grim and horrifying titles. The perfect collection for someone who consorts with literal devils.
Oh, wrong way. Dwarf.
The advantage is ours.
Do it using the timid voice. That's funny. Oh no. Reset my healing spring. I had swapped. I realized I had an open twist slot, so I went and twisted in the thing that gives you what 66 healing and a tier 1, just because hey, why not, right? But I forgot to re-put the refreshed icons into my hotbar. I am a vegetarian. Do I find it easier to shop now because of that? Not really. I have not found, like, in the grocery store that meat has been in shortage. If anything, I think it's been less in shortage because people are, you know, maybe making assumptions about the health of eating meat right now. But, mostly, at least in the Boston area, it's been all about the staples, like toilet paper, hand sanitizer, paper towels, Kleenex. Gone. They're just gone around the area here. But meat has not really been one of those. So it hasn't really had any... As a matter of fact, you know what? On the vegetarian front, I've also found, because of people stocking up and everything, a lot of the kind of fake meat products, like your frozen veggie burgers and that, tend to be pretty empty on the shelves right now. One thing I have not found is, well, I saw it initially, but lately there's a lot of fresh veggies out there that people aren't buying. I don't know if it's just kind of like general fears or what the deal is going on as to why people aren't buying fresh veggies, but they aren't. Yeah, butter, margarine. Pretty much cleaned out, although they've started to restock. It took them about 3 weeks to get the supply chain going again, or whatever it was. But it does look like it's starting to happen around the Boston area here. For those who maybe aren't aware, the New England in general was on the leading edge of the COVID-19 concerns in the United States. Seattle, the Washington State, was first. East Coast was kind of second. So we're a little ahead of the curve in regard to what people in other parts of the country might be seeing and expect to have happen to them. in the coming weeks. You know, one of the things that I didn't really think of with the sort of lockdown that we're under right now is that I would have need for a printer. So I am one of those folks who just never got a computer printer at home because, I don't know, dealing with ink is a pain in the keister. I have had printers in the past, and just about every time I ever try to actually print something, I'm either out of ink or it's clogged or something isn't working. So I'm probably one of a lot of people who sort of, on the occasional rare instance where you actually need to print something on a sheet of paper, just been using the office printer. But now that there is no office printer, I'm the office printer. I was looking for it, but because so many people are working from home and that now, there's been a huge run on less expensive all-in-one printers and stuff. So all the Best Buys, Walmarts, Targets, and that around me are pretty much sold out of anything that doesn't cost a couple $100. And so I'm actually in the market right now to pick up one of those inexpensive printers. I've been selling some of my duplicate Atari carts on Mercari just to make a little money, and why not, right? But I don't have a way to print shipping labels right now. So if you happen to be hearing this and you just bought my Miss Pac-Man last night, and you live in Vermont or something like that, I'm working on it. I need to print off that shipping label, and then I will mail it out to you. No, that was just the question on the Chronicle this week about what would you like to 3D print on from DDO wasn't meant to be any kind of indicator of us wanting to do that. It was really just, I've had to come up with 500 and some DDO questions, and so I was talking to someone about getting a 3D printer, and when I was writing the Chronicle, and so I was like, sure, let's make that the question this week. However, that said, I am actually considering getting a little 3D printer. Reason being is, I don't know if you happen to have a 3D printer, and I know that it's frankly fairly popular among the D&D crowd. I saw Humble Bundles got like an insane amount of 3D printing files that they're selling for only $15 right now. So I'm actually going to probably pick it up presumptively. It's all sorts of things like dungeon walls and stuff. Yeah, I actually do know some people in the office who do a lot of 3D printing as well. Excuse me. And so I do already have a kind of a good source for people to tell me what's good, what's not good, etc. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for the show. I'm not going to get started on a new quest here. I will get you a points code in the end-game mail a little bit later on today. And you're right, I failed to get points last week. It actually just occurred to me. I'll take care of that one too. Printers are the fax machines of the 2000s. Yeah, probably. Actually, I found that Windows 10 was a great purge because so many printers that, you know, used to run on older hardware, just for whatever reason, they were like, nope. And so, you know, they're all now clogging up the flea markets. The Mimic Hunt is over as of Tuesday this week, Benjamin. So the Mimic Hunt should not be currently active on... Sentient Gem and the Timid was a lot of fun. Dusty over on YouTube making learn to make squash pasta. That's cool. Where does this cloak come from? This cloak is part of the Borderlands Warrior cosmetic set that you can get in the DDO store. And that's where the armor comes from, and the shield as well. Set up an old Win95 print server on your network to send to the printer. Now that's some good thinking, Shoemaker. All right, thanks very much for watching the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. Samus Garobo is going to be up in a couple of minutes here. You can check out his channel, /Samus Garobo on Twitch. I'll be back next Wednesday, and I'm going to probably be on Sarlona most likely. And got a couple of characters. Could be heroic, could be epic. I'll figure that out within the next week. Stay tuned for a bonus announcement tomorrow morning, and check out Lamani if you want to. Would very much appreciate it. Have fun, everyone. Talk to you again soon.